Hi everybody, how's it going? My name is Kelly and I run SheepDreamery.com and I sell hand-dyed yarn. Eventually I will sell hand-dyed fiber, but not yet because I have a lot to learn about that stuff, which you may have heard from other people. But today is June 18th, 2013. And it is 87 degrees and partly cloudy in Cincinnati. And I laid out today. You can't tell. My face was bright red, and as you can see, my shoulders are alabaster. Alabaster. This line is my farmer's tan from Maryland Sheep and Wool from a month and a half ago. So maybe I put on too much sunscreen today. And if my mom was watching this, she would be screaming right now. There's never such a thing as too much sunscreen, but I look better when I'm tan. That's all there is to it. And yes, I did not put makeup on today, so I apologize in advance for that. Ugh. Okay, and also, there's a tornado in Denver. So I hope that nobody was affected by it that watches. Well, I hope nobody was affected by it, just that, maybe some tree branches went somewhere, and that's it. What else? I'll start off with, knitting stuff. Like I said, my name's Kelly, but I go by SheepDreamery, and that is on Ravelry. It is on Twitter. It is on Facebook. It is on Pinterest. It is on Plurk. It is on Instagram. And I've actually been posting a lot more to Instagram than anywhere else lately. Sometimes it's just easier to take a picture of something and only talk very briefly about how things are going and things like that. So feel free to follow me anywhere. I don't have anything locked up as private, so SheepDreamery it is. I'm trying to think where else. Okay, maybe that's it. I have been dyeing new yarn, but it will not be put up on Etsy. Because I have dyed a lot of yarn right now. And last month, I did not have a single sale. And that was with advertising on Ravelry and doing the ad search on Etsy. So that was very, very disappointing. I don't know. Are my colors just ugly? I think I make nice colors, but just the people that would like them haven't found my site or something. So that leads to my husband is going to be working on building a cart for my site so that people can buy directly off of my website. And once the cart is built, then I will gradually start adding things. So that might be after the 4th of July. Everything that is in my Etsy store right now will stay in my Etsy store until it's bought. But everything else I'm just saving and waiting until my shopping cart is built. What else? I really haven't gotten a lot of spinning or knitting done. I'll show you really quickly this knitting that I've been working on. It's gotten slightly bigger since the last time I showed it. Which way is which? This way is which. This is my Arundel yarn base, and it's done in 3 different colors. And this was going to be my sample that I knit up to take to the Stockinette Zombies retreat. And the situation has changed. So that's all the knitting I've gotten done since, I don't know, when did I last do this? Maybe June 7th? So a week and a half, here, thereabouts. Spinning, I've done a little bit. I'm participating in Diane from Knittables spin along, which is just with Into the World, and this is Superwash Merino. It's in the Lavinia colorway. If you're unfamiliar, Lavinia is a character who was on Downton Abbey. And I won't say any more about it because spoilers. So I'm trying to protect those who might be watching it later on and don't know anything yet. So I haven't gotten very far on it, but it's an orangey brown for right now. And this is on my Turtle Creek I got from Stringtopia. Stringtopia.net. I'm pretty sure it's .net and not .com. But it could be .com. But it's Abby's store. And she sells them online, and I got this one for $35, $45. And it's really heavy, so it's been fun to use. I like it. It's very nice. I enjoy. So now let me. No, I won't. I will not shove everything back in. But here's a little close up of the chunk that I'm working on right now. There's some yellows and some browns, and a very wee bit of orange right there. And I will be participating in Tour de Fleece and Tour de Sock, which will be coming up next week. I'm pretty sure. So that's mostly all of my store-related content, yarn-related content. Now I'm just going to talk about personal kind of stuff. Not personal, but if you were just wondering what's going on in my store and things like that, that's all to it. So, if you don't follow me on the social media stuff, you might not know that, last Monday, we took my husband to the emergency room. Okay, and I know that on the June 7th videocast that I did, I had mentioned that he was not feeling well and that he does not have health insurance. And so we really have to think about when we're going to go to the emergency room for him. The reason why he does not have health insurance is because there's not a health insurance company that will cover him. It's not a matter of we can't afford it. It's a matter of nobody will take him. So it's very stressful. And so this past week was very stressful. So Monday, we decided he needed to go to the emergency room. So first he went to work and got some things done there, and then he drove up and got my son from over at his dad's house and brought my son over so that he could watch the dog and the cat for us while we were gone because we weren't sure what was going to happen. Um, and so once he was here, we kind of booked it. Got to the ER at around 5:30, and by midnight we had a diagnosis. He has diverticulitis with a fistula. And diverticulitis is not the same as diverticulosis. Diverticulitis requires, in a lot of cases, surgery. But the surgeons that we saw on Monday morning, because they admitted him and said, you need to stay, because they had done a CT scan. The surgeons in the morning said that they did not want to do surgery that day because they want the inflammation to go down. If they had done a surgery that day, then it would have been a very long recovery, and it would have involved, see, I don't want to gross people out with a lot of details, and what my husband's going through. The human body can wind up doing a lot of really weird stuff. And so I don't want to gross people out, and I don't want to get graphic. But, so, if you don't like that kind of thing, you should just leave now, because I might accidentally say stuff. So, they didn't want to do surgery. They wanted to just see if they could get the inflammation down. Oh, hold on. I need a drink because I'm getting froggy. Sorry about that. So basically, they put him on very strong antibiotics and gave him a fluid IV, potassium hydrochloride, and then he was basically in the hospital for 3 days, and they did not have him eat for 3 days, just so that they could see what was going on and how his body was reacting to different things. So then the nurse came in one evening and was like, okay, you can eat now. And we were like, really? And she was like, yeah. And it was kind of stunning because the doctor hadn't mentioned that he could eat food that day. But he had a dinner that night, and he's supposed to be on a low residue diet. And the hospital has its own menu of what people can order when they're on a low residue diet, which I think the hospital is not doing a very good job of. There are things on there where I was like, I'm an internet doctor. I only know so much from Google and whatnot. But the things that were on the menu were things where I was like, I don't think you should be eating this. I don't think it's a good idea to have this. I think it's a terrible idea to have a lot of these things. But he went ahead and got himself a meal because he hadn't eaten in 56, 58 hours. So he was kind of starving. Um, and yeah, after he ate that, things did not go well. Um, and the next day, went back to the hospital, and um, they said, well, we're going to send you home today, and we're going to give you a prescription for antibiotics, and in 2 to 4 weeks, we will do the surgery. So basically, we've come home, and he's taking the antibiotics, and he can take stuff for pain, but he really doesn't like to take pain medicine. So it's been really stressful. Stressful for him, of course, because it's happening to him. Stressful for me because I'm a bit of an information junkie. When I know something's happening, when I know something's going on, I need to read everything. And Wikipedia is not my source. I go to actual medical journals and read up on things. And everything that I was reading in the journals, and then thinking about my husband and his body and what's going on, I was just like frustrated. I am not a doctor. I only read on the internet. But I have a fear that even though, and the reason why they want to get the inflammation down also is because they want to do a laparoscopic surgery instead of doing any kind of open surgery. But my concern is that they might start with the lapro and then realize that they need to do an open. And if they do an open, then I feel like they should have just done that last week. So it's stressful. It's stressful for him because he's worried he's going to die during surgery. He's worried that we're going to be bankrupt after this. There's a lot of worries. A lot of worries. A lot of worries. So we were really lucky that my son was unemployed and was able to be here for last week to take care of the animals while my husband was in the hospital and I was running around doing everything. But unfortunately, this week, my son, I don't talk to my ex-husband very much, and so I was unaware of things because my kids didn't even really know exactly what was going on. So I get like this irritated text message from my ex-husband wanting to know when my son can go back over to his house, because apparently this weekend all of my husband's family is meeting in Maryland, and they're going to be having a big giant birthday celebration. My ex-husband's brother has a birthday on the 23rd, and then my son has his birthday on the 24th. So they're planning a big shindig. So if something were to happen this weekend, then I wouldn't have anybody here to be able to take care of my puppy or the cat. I mean, the cat can live off crunchies, but the puppy needs a lot of attention and hugs and love and exercise and depending on what might happen, I would hate for her to be in a crate for a very long time. So I made the decision yesterday that I will not be going to the zombie knitpocalypse retreat. I am so worried that something's going to happen. And I'm so worried that it would happen while I was gone. And if it happened while I was gone, I would feel just incredibly guilty. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if that happened. So, yes, the surgery is in 2 to 4 weeks, but that doesn't mean that things won't change, situations won't change. And he's not healing right now. He's not mending. Weird things are still happening. If you know anything about diverticulitis and fistulas. And it's different from diverticulosis. Diverticulosis, basically, people just need to avoid eating like popcorn and seeds and stuff. Diverticulitis requires surgery. It requires something that needs to be fixed. So this is what's coming up in my future, is that hopefully the website will be built, my shopping cart will be built before he goes into surgery. And sorry, I did not realize how tough it was going to be to start talking out loud about this stuff. When I keep it all in my head, everything's fine. But when I'm sitting here and I'm actually talking it out using my words, it just gets crazier and crazier. So when he has the surgery, he is going to be in the hospital for at least a week after the surgery. And then, depending on a wide variety of circumstances, he can be healed anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. So this next 2 to 4 weeks is just going to be getting everything in order for when he's incapable to do stuff. And while he was in the hospital, I really forgot how much I relied on him for a lot of things. And it's time for me to get back and take up tasks that need to be done and not have him do quite so much. I'm gonna have a sip of tea in just a minute. Oh boy. Yes, the two biggest worries right now are, will he die during surgery? And will we be bankrupt? And, just the other week, he was written up in the New York Times, and people are calling him. People do want business from him. But, and he has told his clients in advance, this is what's going on, this is what's going to happen, and they all are fine with it. So I don't think he should worry as much about the money. I don't know. I don't know. I should probably talk to a therapist and not to the camera. Just a lot going on. So, I really wish that I could be at the retreat this weekend. Because there are so many of you that I wanted to meet in person. And I do have Knittin' in the Mitten lined up to go to in November still. I think by November, the window of his healing should be okay. And I'll be able to leave the house for a weekend and not fret about him. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I really wanted to go to Minnesota, but I have to. This is definitely more important right now. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. Oh, thank you so much to those of you that contacted me, out of concern to see how everything was going. Especially Susan, Rista 1313. She helped tremendously talk me down from the ledge I was on. And it was quite a ledge. And thank you to Miss Heather from Highland Handmaids, Boutros Babe, who sent me a little PM plurk this morning. And I need to do good, do better. I need to work on being that kind of person myself, getting in contact with people to see how they're feeling and how they're doing. A lot of times I listen to stuff, I read stuff, and I know that things are not going well for other people, and I sit there and I think, oh, that's terrible. And, on Plurk, you can give that little hugging emoticon, but it's nice, but I feel like when I do it, I'm not doing enough to make somebody feel better, if that makes any sense. So I need to work on that. Letting people know that I know that they're going through something and that I'm concerned for them and I hope that things get better for them. Because I really appreciated it when I got that kind of treatment. It helped me a lot. A lot. Thank you so much, Miss Susan, Miss Heather. And yes, I have been pretty quiet in a lot of places, mostly because I am kind of freaking out and feeling like I don't know. I'm not on the ledge, but I'm in a place where I know that I'm going to wind up being impolite, and speaking my mind when I shouldn't, and that's not good for my business. So mostly I've just been taking care of my husband, and we're trying to figure out what things he can actually consume without weird things happening. And when I say weird things, I really do mean weird things. Like, I did not know that this was possible. So, just taking care of him. And I don't know. I was thinking about putting my cowl pattern on sale. If I do that, I'll probably post it in my Ravelry group, which is SheepDreamery. You should come join it. So I'll probably post there. I usually sell it for $5, but maybe I'll give out a code and sell it for $2. Just as a way to maybe get some income. I didn't make any money last month. 0. I spent money, but I didn't make any. That sucks. So I have to work on figuring out why people didn't want to buy my yarn for an entire month. I don't know. I have a lot of stress going on. My husband has a lot of stress going on. Everything is stressful. And last week we had to take the dog to the vet because she has allergies. I have a dog that is allergic to the outdoors. So when she comes inside, she eats she really goes to town on the webbing between her paw pads, like where all the fur comes out and stuff. She's just like, and she did it so bad that she injured herself. And so the night that Chris and I were at the ER, Kyle texted me and showed me a video of Maisie limping. And I thought, oh man, the dog's got a broken leg. My husband has whatever he has. It was just like not our week at all. At all. Luckily though, we got her to the vet and that's it. We got her to the vet and he diagnosed her right away and gave her a shot of cortisone and an antibiotic in it. And he said, okay, so when you get her home, she's gonna be thirsty and drink more than usual, so she'll be going to the bathroom more than usual. I was like, okay, Kyle, remember this because I'm gonna be at the hospital. I'm not gonna be able to keep an eye out for that. But the next morning, after her antibiotics, she was literally walking through the house peeing and unaware of it. She was incontinent. She was walking right towards me, wagging her tail, and there's just pee going from the front door through the kitchen to the dining room. And I was like, what just happened? Apparently, what he didn't tell me was that she will be unaware of her bodily functions that need to be done outside. And so now that the antibiotic shot has worn off and it's just the regular pill antibiotics that she's on, it's not a problem. But suddenly we had to really keep an eye on her to make sure that she wasn't peeing through the house. It was just one more tiny thing where this is a problem, but also it's not a problem. This will be something that is an annoyance, and it's going to be fixed real soon, but it's going to be a total inconvenience the whole time it's going on. So, just a lot of stress. A lot of stress. So yeah, like I was saying, maybe I'll put my cowl pattern on sale if you don't have it yet, um, and sell it for like $2. Maybe that'll help bring some money in. I can't believe I didn't sell any yarn last month. It's great to feel like a failure. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. Hopefully I will be able to do a video cast next week. Maybe I'll feel more positive next week. My husband has a doctor's appointment on Monday, and it's with my doctor, but it will be his first appointment with her. And maybe she'll be able to talk both of us down off of our worry plateau. I'll just call it a plateau. We're just kind of walking back and forth on it. There's no peak. So maybe I'll be more positive next week. Sorry I don't have any makeup on. Sorry I didn't do my hair. I laid out today for like half an hour because I felt like, what can I do that doesn't cost money that will make me feel good? And the answer was lay outside, get a tan. So this is what I use. I use this stuff called Australian Gold with instant bronzer. Yeah, you can see how bronze I am. And then I use this, then when I'm done, I take a shower, wash everything, and then I put this stuff on. And it's Australian Gold too. And it's supposed to like keep your tan in and make your tan last longer. But this stuff smells like a person from the skankiest town you can imagine. In the skankiest bar you can imagine. On the skankiest pole you can imagine. It's got a real scent to it. We'll put it that way. So, I hope you all have a great week. I hope you've been having a great month. If you're doing Tour de Flace, then I can't wait to see what you all spin up. If you're doing Tour de Sock, it'll be fun to see what happens there. Other than that, I don't know. I hope everybody that's going to the retreat in Rochester has a good time. And hopefully I will be able to make it next year. And I got contacted by Laura of the Knit Girls the other day, and she asked, trying to make my K sound. My name starts with a K. You would think it would be easy to just do anything with the K sound when your name starts with a K. Asked. Anyway, that's something I'll have to do speech therapy on myself for. So she invited me to send door prizes her way for the Super Summer Knit Together, I think that's what it's called, or Knit Along, where everybody's meeting in, Tennessee. So I was like, of course, I will send door prizes. Because what else do I have going on? But, I mean, I already have stuff that I can send as door prizes, so I will be doing that, and I don't know what else. Have a good weekend. Hope your days are sunny and warm. And I guess that's it. I'll talk to you next week. Bye now.